What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking in Bits, where we walk you through Bitcoin bit by bit so we can present you with the information that you need to possibly get rich. I appreciate you guys for joining us for episode 9. Jose, half of the tandem. We got Ben in the house. Thank you, good sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and we have a lot of news to talk about. I'm actually excited about this episode.
Yeah, man.
Things have been going nuts.
Absolutely.
Let's start with Fedwire.
Where's my money, Jose?
I'm asking the same thing. I didn't get my paycheck.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know what's going on, the Fedwire, anything that has to do with wiring transactions.
ACH.
ACH is like down.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So let's just say hypothetically some guy has a mortgage payment due tomorrow. Yeah. His money was supposed to come in today. What happens tomorrow if this doesn't get fixed?
They're just going to have to release those payments. Like the banks are going to have to. Everybody is waiting. I mean, the bank can't do anything. What are they going to do? Hey, come bring me cash.
Yeah, if you go to a bank with a check right now, can they cash it?
I think they could hold on to it and then cash it when the systems go up, but I don't think they could lodge it. How could they log it?
Would they front you the money?
I don't know, man.
If they think it's your paycheck, or if it's like stamped by UMass or whatever, like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even think I get it. I don't get that version.
Yeah,
I don't even get a pay stub.
Everything's digital.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. But the cool thing about it, at least in our situation, is when I was leaving, I reported that news to my coworkers, and one of them was like, "Oh, that's actually scary." And I was like, "It is if you don't have Bitcoin." And I said it as a joke. I mean, if they happen to watch this, it was a joke. But really, Bitcoin solves these problems. So I kind of got excited. I mean, mad I didn't get my paycheck, but that's okay. It's not that that big of a deal. Yeah. Now, do you think it's a hack?
Yeah, very well could be.
Yeah.
And you talked about that. We've talked about that. We mentioned it with Jan.
Yep.
It's called Cyberwar.
Yeah.
Where I take down your entire economy.
Yeah.
Your monetary structure.
Sitting at a desk somewhere. Yeah.
And when is that going to come back on?
Yeah, I don't know. And they won't admit that it was probably a hack, even if it was. They're gonna say it was a malfunction.
Yeah, no. If that's an enemy,
they're
not gonna talk about that. They'll just sweep it under the rug unless we're ready to go to war. Unless they take this and say,
right,
oh, guess what? It was those guys in the Middle East, and now we're gonna be at war again for the next 20 years.
Or use it as leverage to go do so, because that's where the big money's being spent.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they're gonna do.
That's what.
But to me, like that whole. These wars won't get fought with gunpowder is very true. I'm about halfway through the Sovereign Individual. I don't know if you got to finish it or whatever, but it becomes more apparent that type of enforcement, like I will shoot you enforcement, that won't really reign supreme. It won't be the way that violence is conducted.
Yep.
But you get this digital way of from across the other side of the globe with no face, no gunpowder, to be able to do things like, I don't know, remember a few weeks ago, they hacked into like Florida's water treatment. Mm-hmm. I don't know whose day is. I don't want to sit here and say, it got hacked, and they started. I guess they put chemicals in the water to kind of clean it, and this thing got hacked to where it could possibly put a poisonous amount into the water.
That. So people drink tap water with no filter.
Yeah, and then people try to get paid today, and then this happens.
Yeah. I mean, even the Texas storm that just happened, they've never had a storm like that.
I didn't really. What happened in that situation? I know a little bit about it.
They got a ton of snow, and they lost power everywhere. So basically, there's the Go Green initiative, and there's turbine energy. Yep. They didn't upkeep some of the turbines.
Yeah.
It was just like a power grid mess.
Well, they don't get much snow anyways, right?
They usually don't get much snow.
So they probably weren't prepared.
I say that to say there's the technology out there to manipulate weather. Yeah. Where like, I can do that from Texas to California. I can polar freeze you guys into submission. And then I run your power grids as you source your power grids to China.
It's a different game.
So it's a whole nother war, as you were saying.
It's a different game, yeah.
Yeah, that, and then obviously robots. For real.
I get excited with robots, but
it's cool, but it's like, the future wars are going to be robots, AI, and technology's crazy, man.
I don't know how serious it is, but I think I saw a headline that said that the New York Police Department released like a robotic dog. Like this thing was just running around the streets. Imagine that. Imagine getting chased down by a robotic dog.
The Boston, I've been posting the Boston Dynamic videos for the last 8 years, bro.
It's impressive, but it's scary.
They can open your door, fam. Like,
yeah. And be controlled from.
When are they gonna start kicking down doors, and then they can open your bedroom doors?
Right.
I'm straight, bro.
And I know we're going real sci-fi here, but at what point does gunpowder not work? Right. We talk about like laser pistols now.
Fam.
Like I know because you're gonna have to try to counter these robots.
I think you'll just have another piece, and it'll be like in the Fast and the Furious when the cops would chase these dudes.
Yeah.
They'd hit their engine and like take out their engine.
Yeah.
It'll have to be like that with robots. On some like laser tag, like
right in the heart,
shooting electric beams at you.
How do we get here from Fedwire?
I don't know. I don't know. We're just talking about technology.
Yeah, but I guess it is scary in the sense that, you know, a lot of people right now, literally as we're filming this, do not have access to money in or out. It's not happening. When are they going to fix it? I don't know.
Imagine if you were closing on your house today.
Everything would just get put on hold. I don't think it would break anything. I just think everything would get put on hold for sure.
Would they just say, all right, here's the keys, and then...
like you needed to move in?
Like literally closing.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, you got to let me sleep in the house.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I wonder.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask one of my realtor friends.
Yeah, if anybody's going through that right now.
Yeah, realtors. I'm gonna hit up my friend Voss.
Yeah, that is weird, but I don't know. And it could have been fixed as of recording this. I haven't been online to check if it got fixed, but it's scary. But once again, if you're here listening, watching this podcast, listening to this podcast, then you have an idea. We continue to explain to you how Bitcoin solves pretty much the problems of the day, the problems that don't really seem to have a solution. But Bitcoin and technology has solved it. This is another one. Bitcoin didn't go down. I was actually able to put some sats away in cold storage today. Yep. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
didn't matter.
Holding at 50?
Huh?
What do you mean by going to... Oh, you mean the network go down?
Yeah. Like I couldn't make bank transactions because my bank was down, but I was able to...
Blockchain's open.
Yeah, I was able to buy Bitcoin. I was able to send it right to my cold storage with absolutely no problem. Yeah. And that's kudos to the system.
That continuity.
Yeah.
Have they put nodes in space?
I don't know. But I think you could beam the internet from space.
Starlink's already doing that.
Boom.
Yo, so I think some people are already getting Starlink access. I saw someone posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're getting...
he was getting kind of average speeds, though. But
I think like 100 megabytes
That's pretty average.
But is it going to give me 100 megabytes up?
True. That does make a big difference.
Because we're in Massachusetts, and I'm getting 10 megabytes up, and that's super slow. I got friends who are getting 100. Yeah. So like if Starlink can do that and then give me a super fast uptime, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. But this dude's like, I mean, we don't have it here, but in Verizon Fios again, what, like 400 and up on speed.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it's fiber optics.
I need that, bro.
Yeah, let's not
talk. If you're running a data business where you're managing, all the data, like
we could do a whole episode on Spectrum and the monopoly there. But it's scary, guys. But once again, Bitcoin solves this Fedwire problem. We don't know when they get it up. Hopefully, y'all can get y'all money. We can get our money. We still moving fiat, believe it or not. So it's very crazy. But there's something that came up. But the funny thing is that Yellen basically announced like yesterday, the day before?
Yeah, a few days ago, she said Bitcoin's inefficient and highly speculative, and then her currency proves itself to be inefficient,
crashes,
ineffective.
The irony. More marketing for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is smarter, harder, faster. Yeah, and nonstop.
I learned a really cool thing about the nodes. The nodes today are key to the system.
Absolutely.
And I, from the backwards thing, I was thinking the miners are key. Everybody's key to this whole thing. But the miners actually have to listen to the nodes in order to continue to get their reward and continue to do the job right. I heard on a podcast today the example of the node operators are the guys that check the puzzle to make sure that all the pieces are there correctly. Yeah. And without those checkers of the puzzle, then the system wouldn't work. It wouldn't be as secure. I highly recommend anybody get a node. A node is one of the cool things to contribute to it. It doesn't cost you electricity anything. Probably takes like $200 to get a Raspberry Pi spun up and ready to go. But not only is it good to contribute to the network and be one of these verifiers, because whether you're on it or not, you're verifying just by having a node. But it's a really cool way to verify your transactions, to trust through your own, version of the blockchain that your money, your transaction, your sats are absolutely correct 100% because you're not trusting somebody else's server. I think that's really cool. Yeah. Guys, check out Raspberry Blitz. I mean, I want to help you get yours up. For sure.
Let's do it. Safety, I think, was saying to install it on not a computer that you're using frequently.
Who?
Safety and Amos. He wrote the Bitcoin Standard.
I don't know. I didn't see his post on that.
He's mentioned it on a podcast.
Well, to me, and the node that I got, I can't speak for all of them. I use Raspberry Blitz. You have to be connected at all times.
Gotcha.
So I would like to think that it's a computer that's going to be on at all times.
Yeah.
And whether you're on it or on not, it doesn't matter. It can maybe run in the background.
Yeah.
But you definitely want this to be kind of like a modem, like on the low, just sitting on the side.
Gotcha.
And the Raspberry Blitz and I think a few other ones actually allow that, where you just get like a terabyte and like a little Raspberry Pi computer, a Raspberry Pi computer, and then you could build a node, and it sits like a modem. You kind of forget about it. You could access it via your screen here, like your SSH bridge.
Yep.
And you can make like a, controller here and do everything. You can get apps on the phone that connect to it, so you can see like visually what you got in there. It's a Lightning wallet. Raspberry Blitz is not just a node. It's actually like a Lightning wallet. It runs behind Tor. We could do a whole episode on that. But really cool. I there's like the people that are coming in that are new that are just trying to learn what Bitcoin is. Do that. It's not go to nodes right away.
Yeah.
But if you've been in Bitcoin for a little while and you want to really, really contribute to the network as an actual contributor with your electricity and your energy, but also to verify all your transactions and make sure that they're legit, this is super important. I highly recommend, go check out Raspberry Blitz, go buy the stuff. That's a little technical, not too bad. Go look on YouTube or something like that, but really cool stuff. So we want to go into NFTs, man.
Yeah, man.
What's happening here with these NFTs, man? This is insane.
It's Beanie Babies on steroids.
Give me more.
You remember the Beanie Baby hype?
I do, yeah.
Right. We talked about holographic Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
NFTs are basically, I'm calling it just digital art. And in the industry, it operates on the blockchain. So there was a little, I think it was a cat. What was that thing that sold for?
It's like one of those, like,
560,000.
Like one of those like weird floating cats.
It's like an emoji cat,
like a 16-bit cat.
Yeah, 16-bit cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold for a lot of Ethereum. And then what happens is you can, as a seller, I think if you create it, you can get royalties every time something's resold.
Okay, so it's not a one of a kind thing. I thought it was a one of a kind thing. Like,
well, we'll create a picture and then there will be 20 copies of it.
Okay, so a rarity thing.
Yeah. So if I buy one of those 20s, I think depending on what it is or what exchange you're on or whatever, you can, like, certain items you can resell.
Okay. Now, I haven't heard too many Bitcoin stories on it. Is there a reason that people are just spending Ethereum?
I think it runs on Ethereum.
So you have to spend the tokens on it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that's easy, though. If you want to buy something, you just turn it into Ethereum real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You just convert.
Yeah, okay.
It's like working in cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same deal.
And then you could just convert to Bitcoin.
Exactly. Mark Cuban said he made 11 million a day.
But what's making this stuff cost this much, though? Like,
it's hype. It's hype. Why were Beanie Babies so expensive? People were freaking crazy over those, bro. I can make an argument. I used to work in the mall during BB Babies.
But I was gonna, because you can feel it, because kids had an emotion to like this. But these little like 16-bit cats.
Know.
All right, you gave a dude $1,000, $2,000 for it, right? But what was that one? Like $500K?
$560,000.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
And so people are buying them and then just reselling it, and the price just goes up.
I gotta go more into that. I gotta find somebody into that. Gary Vee is posting a lot about it.
Yeah, he's talking about it.
And he's usually the four guy. He's usually ahead on things. I like to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but what I want to know is, and what we were talking about earlier when you got here is how. So the NBA tops or whatever, I think is what they're called, right? They're basically doing the same thing with small GIFs, pretty much, or clips of like LeBron James dunking, NBA great highlights or whatever. What I asked was, how is the NBA getting paid on this? Yeah. How is LeBron James getting paid for his likeness? Like, you remember growing up, Michael Jordan was in none of the video games. Yeah. Like, he couldn't have his likeness.
Worst, bro. We always had to make him. Yeah. Like, come on, fam.
And when they finally brought him to 2K, it wasn't even worth it. Yeah, they finally brought him. Bill Belichick and Madden, too, in any of the NFL games. It's like, why do I got this random coach on the sideline?
What about, was Doc Rivers in it? In 2K?
Maybe not. I don't know.
I think Doc was in 2K either.
Yeah, so that's for a reason. That's because the money wasn't paid.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't cut the check.
Yeah.
Guys are getting $500K
for 16-bit cat.
For a LeBron dunk or whatever, and LeBron is getting none of this, and neither is the NBA. That I know of. I'm new to this NFT thing. Matter of fact, if you're an NFT expert, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Talkinginbits@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into NFTs and you know a lot about them, reach out to us. We can have you on the show for sure. But I'm interested in learning more about NFTs and why this is, because I see it more, and I know you see it more as a creator, where it's like, imagine being able to do this for music. Imagine being able to do this for videos, for business cards specifically, like a rare card for an event. Like, all right, let's use Bitcoin Miami coming up, right? Say Ben was there with his camera. He cut a really dope 20-second trailer, and there's only 20 of those trailers to live ever. You could probably turn it.
Oh, that's dope, bro.
Come on,
I'm
man.
about to do that.
Got you. Let's cut this. Let's edit this out. We giving away our piece here.
Right.
But imagine that. Right.
Yeah.
And then from what I heard in one of the clubhouse rooms, all you have to do is go to one of these websites, get it tokenized.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means that they got to like encrypt it or they got to do something to the actual copy that you give them. And I don't know if there's a fee to this.
Yeah.
But I hear it's more than once in those clubhouse rooms. I keep hearing it's easy, guys. It's easy. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So I want to get on this somehow, some way, because if dudes are getting $500K for a cat, I think I can make the cat. I'm pretty sure.
Yo, I'm gonna do Bitcoin Miami.
Yeah.
But I want it to look like Miami Vice, like cartoonish kind of.
You could cut different ones, and
fire.
Some of them would be rare exclusives, and the other ones would be more common ones that you could buy for cheaper. It don't matter. You give them different ones, but the real.
I got to figure that out.
Yeah, man, that'll be cool. Anything like that. An example, weddings. I mean, things like that. If you could just tokenize these videos, like these rare videos or whatever, like people would buy it. I guess. Unless this is all trolling on the internet, which I don't think it is.
No, it's real money.
Yeah, people are getting paid off this NFT thing.
No, there's what was it? Is it Paul Logan?
I don't follow those guys, but I know who he is.
So I think he did like $3 million in sales.
Doing
selling NFTs.
Yeah, but like crazy stuff or like his stuff or
I think his own stuff. I think I was just listening to another pod. They were talking about it, and I think now he lives in Puerto Rico, and he's just
low taxes over there doing his thing.
Yeah, man. People are trying to escape.
Why is Logan Paul over there, man? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to figure out how, you know, in the music example, how record labels get paid. Universal's going to stick their face in everything. Yeah. They're the big ones. But not only that, like sampled songs, royalties to the family, to that stuff. How is all that stuff going to work?
Yeah, it's the same way.
Yeah.
It's just royalties all around.
Yeah, and there's a way for them to get their cut. Because as I told you, like in the podcasting 2.0 on the Lightning Network, you know, you could basically have your XML file for your podcast or your RSS feed actually. Have like, you know, Ben gets executive producer, he gets 50%, Jose gets 50%, whatever, you know, camera guy gets 5%, 2%. And then since it's a contract, it automatically makes that split whenever the deposit comes in. So I can see where a record label could get in on this, but I don't want these old legacy systems invading this new awesome technology.
Yeah.
The kids coming up now, though, are going to have quite the platforms.
Yeah.
We thought we had some platforms with Facebook and what we saw. Imagine what these kids are walking into right now.
Yeah.
With NFTs and this whole, like, we don't need the middle person. Who needs YouTube when we can go somewhere else?
The decentralization of everything.
It's incredible.
Be it, you know, the art field, the internet, social media, everything.
Getting straight to the person. That's what it got me excited about the podcasting 2.0 thing. It's like, I don't need to go on one. Podcasting should be free, which is why I hate Spotify. I don't care if you're listening to this on Spotify. Do your thing. But when you try to like gamify something like that, like when you do Lightning Podcast 2.0, the person is giving you money for what they're watching. Yeah. So a really cool example that I heard from Marty Bent, shout out to Marty Bent. I'm a really big fan of Marty Bent, is, you know, you pay $15 for a Netflix, but only watch one thing. You're arguably wasting your money. Now, what if you can give those $15 to the content that you actually like? And what if you don't watch that much that month? You could actually pay less than $15 for the content you like. That's what the Lightning Network can do, and that's that value for value exchange. And these kids are heading into that world where we needed YouTube. They're just going to go straight to the people, and the people is going to directly pay them back. That's really cool.
Yeah, I actually read about a VPN that operates like that, where it's like pay per use.
Okay.
And you pay via their coin.
It should be that way. Yeah. Like I shouldn't need YouTube in the middle taking a cut. Yeah. The person should determine how much they want to give me, and I should be able to get that as a creator.
Decentralized world.
Yeah, and they're getting into that, and that's really cool. But yeah, I wondered what those NFTs and how people are going to get paid. I doubt the NBA is going to continue to let this go for long, so that'll be a war that the NFT people are going to have to fight, I guess.
Yeah.
But
who do they go after? The exchange that it's on? The site that it's being sold on?
The creator?
And then go after the creator?
I think you will go to the creator direct because these guys are not shy. They're saying they made this stuff.
What if I'm the creator, but I go, my name is Spider Tag?
Hey, what do you mean?
Like
these guys are on Twitter and shit.
There are people who like the dude who did the neon mural exhibit in Worcester. He goes by Spider Tag.
Okay.
And he like hides his identity. You know what I'm saying? So if I sign up on a site and I'm, you know, I don't know, Spider Tag or whatever, like how do they come after you? Are there legal documents that say I sold this to you for X price?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Like.
Somebody got to get paid out there. I don't know. You know they're gonna get into it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about NFTs. I'm sure you agree.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna learn more as it goes. It's very early on, but it's very exciting for anybody in the crypto space and any creator. I mean, this is gonna change the landscape.
It's creator sovereignty.
Yeah, and it's really cool to look at. I hear we see people making a killing. They're not hiding their faces. They're pretty much legit. Hey, this is me. I'm John. Whatever. I'm
just
making
cashed in.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
And the cool thing is you get royalties. So if we created something, sold it, and then it resold 100 times, we can get 10-20% on that.
Interesting. Over and over. But the rarity though, that's what I mean though. How could you do that if there's a rarity aspect?
Well, it's rare, but whoever owns the asset can
forward it off to somebody else. Yes, okay. Gotcha.
So there's only 10 copies. They've resold 80 times, and it's gone from, $10K to $600K.
Yeah.
And then the original creator gets royalties on that, and it's all confirmed because it's on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to hide.
Wow.
So like I said, Mark Cuban made $11 million.
Trustless. Those are trustless contracts. Yeah. Like you just know you're going to get paid. The royalties are there for good. You don't need. Wow.
Me and Dan talked about
that's crazy.
How payment structures will work. So like when we do work for big companies, it's usually net 90. So we have to wait up to 90 days after the gig is completed to get paid out.
Right.
In the future, wouldn't it just be, I submit the work, the blockchain confirms that proof of work, and then your funds are held in a third party and they're automatically like debited?
Yeah.
Or I'm just thinking like, how does that change like work to work in the future?
How would they get to review the content though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Right,
I'm just thinking that through. Like how in the future are people not waiting 90 days for something that shouldn't take 90 days? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea. Unless you do like a multi-sig where you both put the money in the vault or something like that.
Gotcha.
And then they could just sign theirs off.
I just think in the future it'll be like streamlined like that somehow on the blockchain.
That's what smart contracts are supposed to solve. Yeah. Is this this middle person, this finite decision that needs to happen, maybe daily, maybe every second. Smart contracts are supposed to automate that over and over again, so we don't, necessarily need those middle people. I don't know. I just know when there's money involved, especially with these old giants that are going to lose their footing, they're going to want to definitely do something, man. Yeah. But NFTs, look out for if you're into crypto. We got to talk about this price swing. I think it's important because if you're newer to Bitcoin,
welcome to the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
HODL. Don't sell.
I know personal people, and if they're watching, it's okay.
Diamond hands.
Hold on.
Just hold on.
Like, people that I know that bought in saw it go from, 58 to 45.
46, 45 and a half, yeah. I watched, again, we talked about it earlier. I watched it in real time. Like,
I got messages.
Yeah, bro.
Do you get
people message me all the time now.
Yeah. I got messages. Yo, what's going on here? Yeah. Oh, this is all of it. I heard it. It's a scam. I told you it wasn't real. Hey, man, buy the dip. That's literally what I responded. I'll show you my phone right now. It says, buy the dip. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is, I've heard a lot of people say that this is just a market that's still finding who it is. Right? Yeah. It's still, finding its audience. It's still finding, mass adoption. Mm-hmm. And when those things happen, people have weak hands and they sell fast. And people hold, as you should be. Mm-hmm. And, so this is where education is important.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, how often are we going to be able to rely on Square and MicroStrategies and these other companies to prop it back up?
Right.
Because I would like to think when it got to 46, 45, that's when we heard the Square news about
give or take
48 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it went up to 49.50, and then MicroStrategy dropped their news, and not much happened, which means that it kind of evened out. As many people bounced as they bought in, right?
Yeah.
Is that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So how many companies have to keep doing this for this to be sustainable, for this table to be sustainable?
I'm not worried about Bitcoin being sustainable.
Me neither, but
mass adoption is here.
Yeah.
PayPal is bringing Bitcoin to how many million people?
Think so.
Cash App.
You still got faith in
Venmo's,
PayPal?
No, I don't like it. But they're just in general, they're exposing their network
to
of people to buy Bitcoin.
Stores, for sure.
To individual users.
Yeah. They are. Yep.
Right. And so Bitcoin's just on a different level of mass adoption.
Yeah.
And so, I think that alone, plus everything else, it's like, $100,000 by summer.
Yeah.
Because more people are just storing their energy. I don't see us going, there's no other way around this. Like, we're not going back to 30. We're not going back to 20. Like, Saylor did his conference and he expected 2,000 people. And they had like 15,000 people.
Yeah. Which are all still probably trying to scramble and figure it out.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
Yeah. And they're saying every CFO is being asked, like, are you buying Bitcoin or what?
Yeah.
So mass adoption's here. I don't think we're desperate for big other pushes, but we know they're going to happen.
Yeah.
And price will continue to go up. So
I just want people to know to hold on, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because even if you think about it in this strategy, right? You think about a guy like, and we bring him up in like every episode, but you think a guy like Musk, right?
Mhm.
And he has all this network impact. He has all this, power to do. Wouldn't you guys think that he would make people sell so that he can buy it for cheaper with his network effect? The opposite effect of him boosting it up, it would be the opposite effect of him telling his board or his whatever, hey, my network effect could scare people into selling it.
Well, he got flagged recently. And I think they're going to discuss, what can he say, what can he not say, because he's influencing markets. I think it's something with the SEC or something.
Okay.
But they're kind of like reviewing that.
Yeah.
And it becomes an issue because if he's on the board of Tesla and he's manipulating markets.
That's what I mean.
Becomes a conflict.
So that's why you shouldn't let go. You should hold on because these guys have that impact. And it was around his news where he said that it was something about, I forgot what he said.
Bitcoin and Ethereum are a little high right now. And then eventually the price came down. We were due for a correction anyways.
Correct.
And it happened.
Yep.
And maybe he bought some personally at that time.
I just think these guys are dip. And if we want to compare this thing to, land of Manhattan before it was Manhattan.
Central Park.
Right. Like if you want to compare it to that, you shouldn't give it up to then try to buy a little house on Central Park when it's already Central Park. You should hold on to it early.
When you sell Bitcoin for anything else, it's like selling Central Park for
nothing.
Jersey?
For nothing. Yeah.
I don't know. Something unattractive.
Yeah. You just got to, and in the same example where there's a lot of people that get, like they don't tell you your grandmother's house is going to be 10X if you hold on to it. On the contrary, they show up and they try to tell you, hey, we can help you get a fast price for it right now.
Yeah.
So what happens is if you hold on, same example, if you hold on to this property, it goes up in value instead of falling for the guy that's going to show up the day after your grandmother passes away to tell you that you should sell this house for a high market value. So then you could argue with your relatives about how much money you guys are going to split, and then you could waste it and put it back into a system that's obviously blown up. That's a problem.
Yeah. What people need to understand is that with Bitcoin, right now, it's not mass adopted. But eventually, every country, every municipality, every town, every government, every corporation, every small business, every person will have Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah.
The corporations will have it on their balance sheet, and the individuals, especially in places that are communistic and people don't have access to banks.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have Bitcoin on their phone. They're going to store their value in that. And then to transact into whatever other currency, they're going to use Lightning.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to sit on top of the Bitcoin network.
Right.
Like Cash App sits on top of fiat.
Yeah.
And so when everyone takes all of their monetary energy and pours it into this network, I mean, we're going to flip silver at 1.5 trillion market cap.
Getting there.
Right. Yep. Bitcoin's at 1 trillion.
Yeah.
And we're going to get through Apple. Apple's at 2 trillion.
Yeah.
And then we're going to flip gold at 10 trillion.
Right.
Right. And then we're going to subsume gold, and it's going to be this unstoppable force. So like, why would you sell that?
Why? I don't understand.
Because the price went down $5,000, but it's still up 70% on the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
200 historically over the year.
If you know this thing, and that's another thing, if you just look at the numbers every year from its inception to now, the ROI is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So why would you sell? Right?
And it doesn't care. I hear a lot of people say this reason, and it kind of wrangles them. It doesn't care what you feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to listen to us. You don't have to listen to your favorite. You don't have to listen to nobody. You don't have to buy any of this. You don't have to do that. But it's going to keep going.
Yeah, bro.
It's like eating it up like Pac-Man.
It's the fastest, smartest monetary energy we've ever seen.
Solves problems. A problem. A specific
Again,
problem.
the Fedwire issue today, right? And then you can to move a ton of pounds of gold from one spot to another. How much energy does that take?
A lot.
How inefficient is that?
Security too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You get beat for that.
Imagine getting robbed for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Bitcoin, it's like, no, I can click my fingers and in 10 minutes, you're going to get a confirmation on the blockchain.
And proven for so long. Like it handles transactions at a huge scale.
And it can be $10 billion.
A huge scale.
And there's no middleman.
And it thinks about, and we can get into the next subject of the Craig Wright dude or whatever, but it thinks about, you heard the story about somebody, you sent it to me, right? Recovering the amount of Bitcoin in 10 years, after 10 years or something like that?
What's that?
that somebody recovered their wallet after 10 years.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, well, what I was going to get into is that the Bitcoin developers are really into backwards compatibility, meaning that you could have a ledger or whatever, or software that was running 10 years ago, and you'll still be able to recover your Bitcoin because they're very conscious of how they make their next updates and make decisions. So that Craig Wright dude, this Craig Wright dude is the same guy that's going around saying he was Satoshi. I believe so. And he's going around saying that he wrote the white papers. Right. So the communities are like, man, get out of here. Right.
Yeah.
So now he's claiming that the Bitcoin developers, because they targeted him, hacked his computer and took his Bitcoin. So
that's crazy.
Now he's suing Bitcoin core developers for like huge amounts of money, basically, and arguing that.
Do you know how much money it is?
I don't know. It's a huge amount of money.
500 million.
I don't remember the number. I don't even know if they said it. But the thing about this dude is that, you know, and then this is when we get hard forks, right? Yeah. This is when he a lot of people recommended back to backwards compatibility, Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
There's a few other Bitcoin forks. And what a fork is, hey, we're going to do it our way. We don't want to do it your way. And you can do that in software. You can fork.
It's a spinoff.
Yeah, it's a bootleg. So what they did is in 2017, they came with this proposition basically saying, I'm the Craig Wright dude's a joke, by the way, but they went out with this proposition, hey, let's make the blocks bigger.
Yeah.
Let's put more transactions in, it's all data, so it would make it harder to download, harder to fit in hard drives for nodes, harder to do all this. And the Bitcoin core developers were like, nah, because we can't future-proof that.
Yeah.
That's a big move that was made for us unanimously. And as node owners, we match that consensus. We say, nah, you can't do that. So my node won't read Bitcoin Cash.
Right.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Another example that I saw brought up. Imagine taking the NBA and making the court bigger.
Yeah.
And starting a league.
3-point line at half court.
Yeah. And being like, oh, you should come watch us.
Yeah.
The majority of the people are going to ask, why?
Right.
What does the bigger court change? Yeah. And if you can't prove to them that it's better, they're just going to stick to the NBA. Why wouldn't they? That's the thing with these hard forks and with these guys like Craig Wright that are basically saying that doesn't work. He's actually going on a limb and saying he's Satoshi, which is on another level. But he's suing these guys for supposedly hacking them. And
so they stole his coins?
Allegedly. That's what he's saying. I mean,
can he prove it?
Well, my thing is the way Bitcoin, what I know about security is, how would they? Like if he made private keys the right way, and he didn't just leave them on a computer. If he didn't tie his coins to anything that the developers can touch, which I don't think they can. That's what makes Bitcoin great. It's bare, open source. How did they get your private keys? How did they hack you?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep an eye on that story.
That's what I got from the story. I mean, I didn't get deep into it, but I know that guy has come around before.
Yeah.
And the Bitcoin community is like, dude, get out of here.
Kick rocks.
What's going on here? How can you come after it starts peaking like 35, I think, when he started poking his head around again and saying, yo, I'm Satoshi. Like, I just didn't want to tell y'all. That's insane. Dude.
Mushrooms would do that.
Yeah. But it must. I mean, but yeah, that's the deal with him. That's the deal with Bitcoin forks.
Yep.
And that's why, back to the conversation we were having a little while ago, that's why we need to be node owners so we can verify these transactions. The federal wire goes down, but the reason Bitcoin doesn't go down is because these nodes and these miners are global. So if an area shuts down...
Almost 11,000?
11,000 nodes, and I don't even know how many miners, but the nodes are the guys that verify everything. The nodes are the guys that kick blocks out that are faulty and transactions that are faulty. And it's a consensus thing, and one of the easier things you could do to contribute. But anyways.
Yeah. Do you think Craig Wright was being serious when he was saying he was Satoshi? Or do you think he was like, hi?
First of all, I want to say that I'm like 98% sure that's the same guy. But yeah, he went on stage at conferences and say like, yo, I'm Satoshi.
Okay.
Like,
I thought it was more of like a Twitter joke or something.
Nah. Like I saw a video of him sitting down saying like, I invented Bitcoin. Like that's my thing. And I'm now back to claim it.
Yeah.
I guess it's very weird.
Yeah.
But there's always that guy that needs to troll life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What are you doing with yourself? Like that chick that was doing the IV machines. What's her name? The HBO thing. The lady with the mean eyes. I forgot her name. The Aximos lady or whatever.
I'm clueless.
Damn it. Just like that, like faulty, like she used to wear, like she tried to be like Steve Jobs and talk real deep.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that chick right there. Same thing. That's Craig Wright right there.
Fake it till you make it, man.
Yeah, so new ways to earn Bitcoin.
New ways to earn Bitcoin.
BlockFi, I got the email today. You got the email today?
I got the email today.
Credit card's looking dope.
Credit card looks good. They added, 4 new perks?
Yeah, and one of them was an extra 2% on the 8%.
Yeah.
Might as well give me more.
I'll take every percent.
Stable coin. Yeah, and what was the other one? Do you remember? I don't remember the other ones either.
Referral fee for referring to friends.
Yep. $250.
Referral bonus. Yep. What else?
You need to spend $3K for the $250.
Spend $3K for the $250.
That's been easy lately.
Yeah, right.
Spend that easy.
We'll have to run through it. I think it was just percentage increase.
And it seems like Fold is trying to beat them to the punch.
Will they have a credit card or is it just a debit?
They have two tiers. And I think there's like a black card that might be a credit card.
Okay.
I could be wrong on this. But the yellow card I know for sure is like a Cash App 2.0. It's like you load it up and you could get spins and get extra stuff. I'm actually excited for both of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't get my email for the Fold one. I know somebody who did. But the BlockFi one I think I'm more interested in because it's just, why not put everything? I've been doing that with the Apple Card lately where it's like, I guarantee get something where there's 1, 2, or 3% on the Apple Card, and I just turn it into sats. So now the BlockFi card is just going to do that for me.
Yeah.
I still don't know about all the sats going back into my BlockFi account. I want to take them to cold storage. But they always give you the option to withdraw. I don't want to make them sound like they.
True, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now I use a Chase card, shuffle the points around there.
Well, that's what I do. The Apple Card, right? They give me cash back. I transfer it and then bring it to Cash App and then put it in cold storage. But
there you go.
If you guys want to find new ways, check out BlockFi. Check out the links below.
Yep.
You could definitely now with the credit card, you get 10%, 10.8% interest on stablecoin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you get 8%. I think the perk added an extra 2%.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I saw someone post specifically about that. Like that's a game changer.
Yeah, when you compare 0.5% that you're getting from.
And that's $10K if you're putting in 100.
Yeah. There every month.
That's big. And that's, we've been talking about that where like anything crypto related, the interest rates need to go up.
Yeah. And they will. They will. Yeah. They have no choice as it gets harder to find. You're going to have to pony up or people are going to walk away.
Dude, every day I'm seeing whale alerts of like large amounts of Bitcoin going to cold storage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think, as that continues to happen.
So they did it smart. They built it into their credit card and used it as a perk, but really it's a sign of things to come. And they just got ahead of it and used it as a perk. But Preston Fish, 16%. He's thinking 20%. He's thinking some crazy numbers like that.
That's great, bro.
And if that happens,
that's wonderful. How can I buy more?
Who needs to work? Who needs to work if you're making 20%?
That's Michael Saylor was talking about it, and he was like, again, rich people borrow against their assets. In the future, you're going to be able to borrow against your Bitcoin, and as it grows to be a 10 trillion, 20 trillion, $30 trillion asset, if it's appreciating that much and you have $1 million worth or $10 million worth,
you're gonna boom.
You never have to work again.
Yeah.
You're going to leverage your Bitcoin. You're going to get a loan at a low interest rate and you're going to live off that. And as Bitcoin appreciates, you're basically living free.
Yeah, yeah. And even if you don't want to take that gamble, let's go. What would you say? 10K for 100?
Oh yeah.
Get to $100,000, which may seem impossible, but look at this goal.
Yeah.
Get to $100,000, and the majority of the people don't need more than 10K to live a month.
Yeah.
If you need more than 10K to live a month, you gotta lower the status a little bit. Maybe not, but 10K you can literally just not work and live off the interest alone.
Is it yearly or monthly?
What?
The interest.
That's a monthly interest, my G.
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I got to look at that. I got to look at the details.
I think that's a monthly interest, right? Because they pay you out monthly.
It's probably yearly. The same, like the same way the BlockFi.
I'll pull it up. I got you.
Pull it up.
I got you.
Yeah, let's look at that details.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you were getting 10 a month, you'd need $1 million.
Nah, I would. All right.
We'll see.
I'll give you a reason why.
About to retire right now.
Nah, because the reason is this is what I get on my monthly bank account. They give me without going into numbers. They give me on the first 1,000 of my savings 4%. Now the BlockFi one is double that. It's 8%, and I'm literally seeing double the interest every month being paid out to me. So I think it's every month, dude. So once again, you get to 100K, you're getting monthly interest of 10K, and if you need more than 10K to live a month, then you gotta find money somewhere else. But the fact of the matter is what am I searching here? BlockFi
credit card. If you pull up,
we're talking interest, right?
Yeah, if you pull up BlockFi Zach on Twitter, he just posted about it.
Nah, we want to find out if it's monthly.
If it's yearly, it should say APY.
So it is yearly, right? If it says APY?
Yeah.
That's still a good amount, though.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah.
What did your bank give you?
0.5.
After 4%.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's still a win. It's still so what would it be a year? 10K a year? Just for sitting there.
Yeah.
So double that.
All right.
It just keeps going up. As long as you just hold it there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the bank is going to give you
And the bank's gonna give you 0.5. Like they
and they're gonna spread your money all over the place.
Yeah,
it's a scary thing, guys. You gotta inform yourselves.
And then when you overdraft or whatever, they're still gonna whack you like $35.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you go to an ATM, it's still gonna be $3.
What a shitty system.
Pretty soon, that's $3 is gonna be $5
to get to your own money.
Yeah, with the way inflation's going.
And then they try to tell you that they're gonna give it back to you at the end of the month, but they're just gonna make it up.
Get out of here.
It's crazy. Turn that fiat into Bitcoin. Turn that fiat into whatever. I won't make it official to anybody that's been following us from early. I cashed out my Ethereum.
Okay.
I think it's important to talk about that.
Okay.
I don't feel mad about it. I think Ethereum got a long way to go. I believe in Ethereum. We've been hearing about gas fees, though.
Yeah.
We've been hearing about high fees.
Yep.
And I don't know much about where these high fees originate from. I don't know how the network works specifically, but I do know one thing historically about me. I don't like fees, bro.
Yeah.
So hit me. What's going on with that?
Yeah, just a lot of people talking about the gas fees, like extremely high gas fees.
Yeah.
Related to Ethereum. And I think that's why the Binance coin has been soaring from, $50 up to
I didn't even know
$300. Yeah.
That they had a coin.
They have a really large exchange, and I think instead of transacting specifically in Ethereum, people are just using their coin.
Yeah.
And so they've gone to the top 10, top 5 in market cap because of that, with all the booms that's been going on lately. But yeah,
so I didn't want to leave my. I got a little boost this morning, and I made like an extra $40, and right there I was like, I'm taking all of it out.
Yeah,
yeah, and I
in Ethereum or
what in Ethereum?
Yeah,
boomed up.
Okay. Oh,
I
gotcha.
want to say boomed up
profit wise. Oh yeah, it's coming back up. Yeah,
but I made an extra $40.
Yeah.
Since the last time I looked at it, and then I got to a certain amount, and I was like, you know what? Instead of scraping, I'm just gonna go all Bitcoin and stablecoin because it's 8%. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Like everybody has.
No.
There's Bitcoin purists, and then there's people who are Bitcoin and Ethereum and some alts.
Yeah. But when you came here, you told me about watching petty stuff online. People trying to trash other coins.
Yeah. Again, there's purists, and then there's people who aren't purists.
What's that? You don't like the purist?
No. There's nothing like. Do your thing, bro. Bitcoin's amazing.
Yeah.
But like, if I still want to make money with altcoins. Like if Bitcoin's going to grow 200% a year, and then there's going to be some altcoins that are going to grow 1,000%, or that are going to do 800% in a month, like I'm going to do what I want, bro.
Yeah, you want to hit all the beaches if you want to surf.
Yeah, like this one dude Lark on Twitter, he says like altcoins will make you rich, Bitcoin will keep your wealth.
I like that. You can do that in a lot of different ways, but it's a good example. I like that. Cool. Yeah, kudos to that.
Yeah. So.
But I gotta just understand the altcoin. The reason I'm in Bitcoin hard is because I understand Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like it feels good to be hard. Plus, I know all the beneficial gains of it.
Right.
But the security aspect of it, just because I don't understand how fees work in Ethereum, just lets me know two things. I'm not digging deep, which means I'm not that interested in solving that problem for myself. And if I'm not interested in going deep in it, then why put my money there? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm at. I don't hate it. I know smart contracts are going to be it somewhere in the world. We're going to need smart contracts. Maybe when the Federal Reserves there's their stable coin, they're going to need smart contracts.
Even from a financial speculative perspective.
Yep.
Grayscale set up a trust for Ethereum.
Yeah.
And their Bitcoin trust says that I think they bought like 30 billion. Some enormous amount of Bitcoin, and they can never sell it.
Who, Grayscale can't?
Grayscale can't. The stipulation in their trust is that they can never sell it.
So they're going to be...
So what happens when you buy an enormous amount of digital gold?
You're good forever.
You're good forever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Your company's good forever.
Yeah.
That can pay for a small village and some. So what happens like when institutions start doing that with Ethereum too? So that's where I'm at from a price perspective, from a technical perspective, and how Ethereum is working out. Yeah, it looks a little weird. Gas fees.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Well, I just think in those same examples, you could build layers on Bitcoin that can solve a lot of those problems too.
True.
And then it's like, why not mess with the big dogs, right? There's already smart contracts on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Multisig is a type of smart contract. So I'm rooting for Ethereum. I just think that development team is like, they're kind of like me in business, where it's like I want to do 9 different things, but I'm not solving anything. I'm just doing 9 different things.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about Ethereum, and I could be a geek out and like it, but
it is what it is. There's a lot of cool projects out there.
But you are right about it. Yeah, a lot of the other coins have some really cool stuff going on. I've been reading a little bit about Filecoin and a lot of different things. Do you know anything about Pax Gold? I don't know anything about Pax Gold. Seems like it's been going up this year though. It was up near the 2K, right? It's like 1,800 something like that.
Yep. I'm thinking about the exchange that sold some Bitcoins at a false freight.
Oh,
did you see that?
Hit me. Yeah, I did. But please tell the listener.
And I don't know if they're called Pax Gold or something.
No, Pax Gold is the coin. So
yeah, I know Pax Gold's a coin.
Okay, but
I'm trying to think of their name. It's something similar to that. But
yeah, give me a statement of Google. I could go to Twitter.
Did I send it to you on Twitter?
Oh, I could check. You probably did. Yep.
But yeah, basically they were selling Bitcoins for under 6,000 pop, and yeah, it was a glitch due to their systems being overwhelmed, and then now they're dealing with the whole hey Jose, you bought 10 Bitcoins at $6,000, you're gonna have to relinquish those coins back to me, or I'm gonna have to take legal action against you. So I've never heard of anything like this ever happening. This is it's like an exchange problem, almost like a bank problem. So similarly, what was it? JP Morgan, I think, just sent $500 million to someone, and it was the wrong address.
Did they? I didn't hear that.
$500 million.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
And the judge ruled that the receiver doesn't have to return it.
Oh boy.
What? So
no, and when it comes to this exchange,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like a bank problem, right? The exchange is kind of like the bank.
Well, if we're talking about fiat, they're gonna come after you. The IRS, well, somebody's gonna get that money back.
Yeah,
but in this situation,
yeah. Imagine that.
You guys messed up your algorithm. That could happen to BlockFi. That could happen to
anybody.
Fold.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody.
Like if the algorithm says the math is times 4 and it's really times 10, there's going to be a lot of number changes and a lot of things going haywire.
Or if someone hacked their exchange and did that maliciously, that'd be nuts.
Cold storage. You guys got to get off of this thing. But yeah, it's that's scary to think about, and that can happen to anybody. But yeah, to get a $6,000 Bitcoin right now.
Imagine that, bro.
That'd be insane. Listen, I'm gonna get a few coins at 6,000, like right off the rip. But that can happen in software. I don't know who the exchange is. It's not any of the American exchanges that we know of.
I think it's somewhere in the east or the west.
Okay, and they're the ones
in the east.
And they're the ones that keep waking us up to dibs, huh? Selling.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. And and China goes at it at 8:30, 9:30.
Yeah.
And we're hovering at 49 grand.
By the time we wake up, they done dipped us. They done cashed out with their weak hands.
Yeah. Well, what I heard recently was that some miners took profits. They had a large amount that they sold off.
Okay.
And we were due for a correction anyways, and that's going to happen. Like miners have to take profits.
Yeah.
Or do they have to take profits? Right. So one miner in
America.
Yeah,
they don't have to. They
one miner in America says, "Yeah, we're just going to hold on to our Bitcoin. Yep. We're going to raise capital by selling more stocks, and the money we get, we're going to continue to create more Bitcoin through mining.
Yeah.
And we never have to sell our Bitcoin."
Really cool. That's a lot of cool stuff.
There's a riot in Mara, and the CEO of one of them just took a loan to buy more.
Yeah. So, that's crazy. Yeah. And the innovation that's going on in the mining industry too. Like a lot of people just the argument out there is that it's Bitcoin mining is going to melt the waters or boil the waters or whatever. And it's like, look,
every person I see on Twitter who shares those stories, usually it's Jason Williams or Peter McCormick or someone of that nature.
Yeah.
And they'll point out and say stuff like genders in their bio. Like the whole his, he, stuff that's going around.
What are they saying though?
So
I follow them both too.
Yeah, so they'll retweet a story of someone complaining about Bitcoin's what is it? Imprint, right? On the earth. Their carbon footprint.
Yeah.
So they'll have something negative to say about that and the whole energy consumption and all this, as if there's not solar Bitcoin spots.
Right. And those people in those industry are like the most innovative people at finding renewable energy sources or cheaper ways by nature. It makes sense. If it costs you less to mine, you're gonna get more profits. So Marty Bent, again, shout out to Marty Bent. He was talking about having like gas, like and how companies, gas and oil companies have to flare. But if they flare is basically just like blowing it out into the earth to relieve pressure, if I'm not mistaken. So in order to after a certain amount of time, states like South Dakota or whatever kind of like they shut you down. They don't even fine you. So you're losing money as they shut you down because you can't do this. So I guess Marty Bent was talking about, they got together with a team that basically allowed them to harness those and use them to go into generators and basically convert electricity, which then they can mine with. And it's a win-win for the gas company. It's a win-win, right? And this was going to get wasted gas anyways. So if you make the argument that is melting the ocean, but this smart guy is going out there and doing this renewable energy source. So he didn't have to contribute another kilowatt to the carbon footprint. He was just using what was already there to his best advantage, his group, not just him. Really cool stuff in that field, man. Like those, you know, I know you and I talked about solar panels and stuff, but how could you hate the people that are trying to find clever ways to reuse the energy?
Right.
In a safe and cleaner way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Misunderstood people.
Yeah, I think they're just uninformed.
Yeah, or they just, you know, they take their attacks. They try to keep the, you know, until they figure it out in the background. They have to keep their audience, whoever it may be, the federal government, whatever, their followers, they have to keep them off kill, right? So,
and while they do that, the federal government is buying Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Like, or at least figuring it out. I mean, I don't know if they got their strategy down, but they got to figure it out at some point. Because like you said, other nations, and we can't lose the technology game. I heard Peter Thiel talk on an interview today, and it's just like, you know, we could fall behind on many things, but if we fall behind on the technology game, it's a wrap at that point. It's going to be an uphill battle from there.
Right.
And, you know, we could go on another whole tangent about the military complex and why, you know, you keep buying missiles, but this is not what's happening. Like, you know, AI and all that. But that's a scary conversation. Hold your Bitcoin. It's probably the best. It is the best way to do it, whether it's because you want to pass it on.
We're still up 70% this year.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but yeah, I told my wife, she was like, oh, it got, she was like, oh, it went down a lot or whatever. And I was like, well, we started buying at like 18, 19. So I was like, it got to go down like another 26, 30. Yeah. Like it needs to go far for us to even get red. Never mind, just make our money back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I think the market tells all. Like if Bitcoin plummets, like really, really like falls off the table, there'll be a reason for it. There'll be like a security threat, or there'll be something that it is better, which I find hard to believe. But the market will tell you if something is wrong. If people themselves, like us, don't tell you that something is wrong. Volatility is part of the game.
Yeah.
If you're new to Bitcoin, take the punch to the face. Think about 4 years from now. Think about 5 years from now. And you have a little piece of Manhattan.
Absolutely.
You can make a ton of money.
Absolutely.
I hear a lot of people write online, the easiest thing you could do, buy Bitcoin, hold on to it. Yeah. That's it. That's your strategy.
It's as simple as that. There's no, stop trying to buy the dip and, well, always buy the dip, but
if you can,
stop playing the guessing game of I'm going to sell here and buy here. Because I've done it. I've tried to play that. Other people do it. And sometimes you think a bottom is here and
it's too volatile.
It's not there. And sometimes the top's here. It's extremely volatile.
Yeah, really fast. That's why I think, and more than ever, I know it's historically in stocks has been a good thing, but I think the dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin specifically is so clutch. Yeah. You do it a lot. You're still early. You still have time. And you're going to buy it when it's low. You're going to buy it when it's high. And you don't put that pressure on yourself to try to beat the market. Unless you're a day trader. I know some people day trade. But yeah, this is good, man.
That's as easy as it gets. Take your money every day, small amounts, weekly, small amounts, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But do it on autopilot like a bill.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw someone post this one Bitcoin post. They put in, I think, $1,000.
Yep.
Dollar cost averaging.
Yep.
And it's $3,500 now.
That's really great, man. Yeah. And there's a lot of great stories like that.
How easy was that? You know what I mean?
Just to put it in.
Contribute.
Yeah. And do your information, because the better you feel about it, the more you're going to contribute to that investment, for sure. Like you could, touch your feet and get cold. I heard somebody really cool in one of the Clubhouse rooms that I was hosting actually say it the other day. And they were explaining it to somebody new, and they were basically saying, hey, you've spent $100 on a dinner before. Everybody's gone out and has spent $100. He's like, you ate that food and that's it. Buy yourself a Bitcoin dinner. Just go out and buy $100 in Bitcoin and just leave it alone.
Yeah. Same
thing you did with the food. You ate it, it disappeared. Do the same thing. And I highly recommend, if you have the $100, go for it. But as you hear us week to week, we get more passionate. But that's because it's heading in the right direction. And this is solving more than just, this is not a popularity thing. This is actually solving a life world problem. And we're watching it unfold.
Jack Muller talking about, Strike is going to enable people who don't have bank access, someone in another country, to have access to Bitcoin and have access to transact from a cell phone.
Never happened before. This is going to open up. This is a global market. Get your feet in. And in the same Central Park example, this is not just New York. This is a global thing. And for all the stuff we talk about, security, all that stuff, it's a legit place to put your money, to store your value. Play with the altcoins if you wish. But number one, handle your Bitcoin before you handle anything else. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Because it's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Wraps up.
Yeah.
Episode 9?
Yeah. Wraps up
guys.
episode 9.
Please, thank you for joining us. Rate, share, subscribe this episode so more people can get this education, because that's our goal, is to get more people to get more wealthy and be able to invest in this once-in-a-lifetime experience. We appreciate you guys. We'll check you out next week.
Peace.
Later.